Ladies and non-ladies, what's going on with the Trump shit, dude? Are they sentencing him already? A week before the inauguration? What's going on there, dude? Now I kind of want to figure it out. Talk to me, Benny.
Guys, it's Benny. Just when you thought it was all over, they come pulling you back in. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump will be heading back to court before he becomes president of the United States. In fact, hours before he becomes president of the United States, to face potentially 4 years in prison.
Oh, well, that's wait. Hold on. What? What? Oh, well, that's convenient, isn't it? Oh, he might face 4 years in prison. So the entirety of the next presidential term, he might be locked up. So for the entirety of his term, he might be in jail. He might be signing executive orders from jail, bro. What the fuck? That's a weirdly convenient sentencing term, dude.
Keeping records, charges in New York City, charges that were, and I'm saying this politely, total and complete bullshit from the beginning.
Dude, it was fucking bullshit, dude. It was so clearly a fucking attack. Breaking Trump to be sentenced in hush money case. Oh, the hush money case? Wait, is the hush money case and the bookkeeping error, are those the same? I thought those were two different cases.
Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news as of this very moment. Trump to be sentenced in bookkeeping records, hush money case. January 10th, days before inauguration. Judge Juan Merchan said sentencing for January 10th after Trump's conviction of 34 felony counts in Manhattan hush money case. They literally copy and pasted all 34 felony counts. Now, why are they doing this? They're doing this for a very specific reason. Talked to a lawyer right before recording this. Here's what happens. You're not a felon unless you get charged and then sentenced. A judge must sentence you. Just because a jury finds you one way or the other, plenty of judges actually, on summary judgment, reject jury findings. They can do that. In the American legal and judicial system, each state has their own rules.
Right.
But this is massive because what they're going to try and do is say that Trump's a felon. They actually can't say Trump's a felon until the judge sentences him. So Trump is currently not a felon. So this is what they're going to try. This is what they're going to try and do before this becomes a total zombie case, and before a bunch of people get fired and investigated, and all these.
That is such horseshit, dude. They're trying really hard to prevent him from getting into office. Like, what's the end goal here, right? What is the end goal? Okay, so you lock him up, you put him in jail. He's still the president. He's just gonna do inauguration from jail. He's gonna be in jail during his inauguration. He's still gonna be sworn in because that's what the people want. And then he's gonna pardon himself, and then he's out of jail, and then everything's fine. And nobody's gonna bat a fucking eye because Joe Biden pardoned his fucking son and like 3 Chinese spies. So this is purely optics. They can't remove him from the presidency just because they've convicted him as a felon 10 days before they get him in there. They can't do that shit. And even if they did do that shit, it wouldn't fucking matter.
People go to jail. They have to try and make the felon thing stick. And so that's what they're going to try and do. Or they're going to try and put Trump in jail for 4 years. They could potentially put Trump in jail for 4 years. Now, of course, that would tear at the absolute fabric of our Constitution and would need to be overturned at the Supreme Court, which would make a very arduous process because it's a long time from a state court to
even if he gets overthrown, the VP is next, not a random person or the losing presidential candidate. Yeah, exactly. It would just be Vance, dude. He's the next one in line. What, are you going to throw Vance in jail too? And then it's going to be the Secretary of State, right? Or is it who would be next after Vance? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of this is going to matter. This is for purely optics, so they can run a smear campaign on him for the next 4 years. And they can call him the felon president who pardoned himself. And they're going to try to memory hole the whole Joe Biden shit. They're trying to pretend that Joe Biden's whole presidency didn't even happen. This is retarded, dude. You never know with these people. Yeah, you never do, bro. They're always pulling something out of their ass.
The U.S. Supreme Court. But nonetheless, here we go. Ordered the defendant appear sentencing following conviction January 10th, 2025 at 9:30 in the morning at the courthouse located in New York County. So this is Juan Merchan ordering the duly elected president of the United States, who won in a historic landslide, won all 7 swing states, won the popular vote, to come into his dingy, absolute garbage pit, rat-infested courthouse and to face sentencing, potentially face 4 years in prison.
If Donald Trump is not the next president, America has fallen. Democracy is over. There will be a revolt. We will see guns in the streets, martial law, all of this shit if Donald Trump is not the next president. That means democracy is over because the voice of the people doesn't matter. Because all the establishment has to do is decide that this particular candidate is not fit to be a president. Even if you want him there, it doesn't matter. Democracy will have fallen if Donald Trump is not the next president. The only way to fix democracy is to bring back the dollar menu. I think Joe might be onto some shit. Joe, I am announcing that you are head of the Bring Back the Dollar Menu, the foundation. That is a sole responsibility that I'm placing on your shoulders, sir. I'm sure you will do a great job.
Dude, if he sentences Trump to prison time, again, you are going to face a existential crisis the likes of which you've never seen before in the country. Judge Rashan has ordered President Trump to appear sentencing for the hush money case 10 days before he's sworn in as the 47th president of the United States in order to allow President Trump to appear virtually. The order allows President Trump to appear virtually, a signal that any possible sentencing will not physically interfere with President Trump performing his presidential duties. But you never know. You know, we all thought that all these cases would fall apart, right? None of these cases would be successful, and it turns out that we were right on virtually all of them.
Yeah, there's like a whole line of people that come after, like say somebody bombs the White House or some shit. There's a long line of people who are next up to be president. I think the Secretary of State is after, and then I think the Speaker of the House is in line somewhere. I'm not sure what the order is, but I know there's a long line just in case, worst case scenario. But this is fucking insane, dude.
With the exception of this one. This was the one they were able to get over the line. Again, it's a bookkeeping record that is copy and pasted 34 different times. That is a misdemeanor that was bootstrapped into a felony with a novel legal theory with the help of Joe Biden's Justice Department. Somebody named Matthew Colangelo, who left to go into this.
Yeah, Speaker of the House. Okay, cool. So it goes Vice President, Speaker of the House. Let's see, I knew it was one of them. It was either Secretary of State or Speaker of the House. President pro tempore of the Senate? I don't even know what that means. I've never even heard of that position. What the hell? See, how can fucking the people have the power when we don't even know what the roles are, bro? Then it's the Secretary of State. Then the Secretary of Treasury. Secretary of Defense. Jesus Christ. That is insane. Yeah, there's a long line of these motherfuckers, bro. Literally every part of the government is somewhere on the list.
Department. And to work, take a massive demotion to go move into this Alvin Bragg's department to go and run this case. So it's literally the Biden Justice Department running this case against Trump, and they actually are going to try and get this thing over the line and sentence Trump. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg has argued for suspending the sentencing, keeping the ruling pending during Trump's presidency. Total clown show. Judge Juan Merchan orders Trump to be sentenced in the money case. Court finds that neither the vacator or the jury's verdicts.
Dude, I fucking thought so too. I thought it would be I don't know, I thought they would have given up. I already saw that companies were doing away with DEI. Game developers are pushing back against DEI. All the woke shit is kind of falling apart. The left is still melting down over the election. I thought they would have given up, but no, apparently not. Apparently we were mistaken. Apparently they have one last Hail Mary attempt to try to get Donald Trump out of the White House. But I'm telling you, dude, the moment Donald Trump is not our 47th president, all hell is going to break loose. We will see America crumble from the inside through violent war, and it's going to be insane. It is going to be insane.
Nor dismissal of the indictment is required by presidential immunity doctrine, the Presidential Transition Act, or Supremacy Clause. I mean, how insane is this that you're going to take... At this point, you have to just simply assume that they want America to fail. Let's say they don't sentence him to prison, right? Trump could face 4 years in prison for this. And if Trump didn't win the election in 2024, he was going to go to jail, and he was going to spend the rest of his life in jail. Those were the stakes for President Trump.
See, this is something we've never seen before. I don't even know how this would work. If you put a president in jail 10 days before they're supposed to be inaugurated, what happens? It's not like he's dead. So he's still the president. He was still the elected president. He's just going to do the inauguration from jail, and then theoretically, he can pardon himself. But we can't, there's no way we can know that for sure, because this has never been done before. We've never seen an establishment go directly against the vote of the people and try to remove a president before they're inaugurated. So what happens? The only thing we can do is theorize. Speaking of weird, some people genuinely believed after the election Trump immediately got access to the White House. Yeah, I'm not surprised. People are fucking retarded. Every single one of them. Yeah, Biden still had a whole, like, 2 or 3 months. He had a whole 2.5 months. He had a whole 2.5 months to make all the fucking bullshit decisions that he made. Like, pardoning all those fucking people, including his own son, and trying to get this fucking sentencing pushed through. They're trying so hard. But that doesn't mean the establishment retains power if Donald Trump gets thrown in jail. The fucking what? These people are stupid.
It's incredible what this man has been through. What they're doing right here is they are literally stealing time from a presidential transition, which is arguably the most important in our lifetime, with so many ongoing threats to the United States.
Oh, and that's another thing. What happened to the peaceful transition of power? Huh? What happened to that? Oh, I thought you guys were all about the peaceful transition of power. I guess you don't care about that no more, do you? Peaceful transition of power, my ass. Try to throw him in jail.
States, to this country, and to the world at large, and they're going to steal his time, even if it is done virtually, to be a time vampire, to take away from his capacity to run a presidential transition. That's what they're doing. This is what's happening right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York judge says that Donald Trump may not face prison time in the hush money case. Okay, let's read.
Wait,
well,
what?
the court,
Okay.
as a matter of law, does not make any determination to sentencing prior giving the parties of the defendant an opportunity to be heard. It seems proper at this juncture to make known that the court's indication did not impose any sentence of incarceration, a sentence authorized by the conviction, but one the people concede they no longer view as a practical recommendation. Really?
What is all of this legal speak, bro? I can't stand this fucking bullshit, dude. Why can't you make things clear and concise? Why do you do this legal speak? They do it on purpose. They were talking to Donald Trump about whether or not he's going to allow a peaceful transition of power, or whether he's going to accept the results of the election. But it seems that they are doing everything that they were accusing him of doing. So now they're questioning the legitimacy of the election, and they're trying to dodge this peaceful transition of power by locking up Donald Trump literally 2 weeks before he's supposed to be inaugurated. Like, what? Not even 2 weeks, like a week and a half. Like, this is such wild shit.
Oh, okay. So this is him saying he was planning on sending Trump to prison. Look at this. A sentence authorized by the conviction, meaning this is what I was going to do. I was going to put Trump in prison. Underlying concerns of presidential immunity doctrine and the sentence of unconditional discharge appears to be the most viable solution to ensure, finally, to allow the defendant to pursue appellate options. Man, I can't wait for these things to be, like, thrown into the incinerator where they belong. Defendant's concerns regarding mental and physical demands during the transition period, as well as the considerations set forth, the court will permit the defendant to exercise his right to appear virtually in the proceeding if he chooses. So there you go.
Okay, so what's gonna happen if they frickin' sentence it? How do you appear virtually to a sentencing? Like, you still have to go. What? Am I crazy for like? How do you appear virtually to a sentencing? Like, that's when you determine how long you're gonna be in jail. So what? Are they gonna send somebody to go get him? Like, oh yeah, Mr. President, you can appear virtually, but then we're gonna find somebody to come and get you. But then you have to report to the courthouse anyways, so we can cuff you and throw you behind bars. Am I the only one that doesn't think that makes any fucking sense? This whole thing is weird. This whole thing is weird. It's like pure optics. That's all it is. They just wanted to make it seem like they're gonna throw him in jail to appease their base or some shit.
Juan Merchan, written decision, President Trump will face neither jail time nor penalties of the New York sentencing. Well, that is proper, but once again, they're going to try.
Wait, what? Signals in his written decision that President Trump will face neither jail time nor penalties at his prison sentencing. So then what's the point of it? He's already been convicted, right? They convicted him of 34 felonies and we still voted for his ass. So, like, what's the point of this?
Jail time nor penalties of the New York sentencing. Well, that is proper, but once again, they're going to try and put the man into the box as they can say he's a felon. This is what this is about. I mean, if they dared to, sentence him to prison, he's all but saying there, that's what I wanted to do.
I don't give a fuck He could do 100 felonies. All right, he could do 1,000 January 6s. I wouldn't give a shit. He's lowering my taxes. He's doing away with tax on overtime. He's doing away with income tax. He's putting tariffs on China. He's taking manufacturing back from China and putting it in the U.S. I don't give a fuck. All of our groceries are gonna go down. I don't give a shit. He could do 1,000 felonies. Sentence him 1,000 times over. I don't care. I will vote for him again. Bop it up, bop it up, bop bop. Neph, you know how the libs do things. I do, and it's fucking bullshit. A paper trail? Yeah, that's all they want, dude. That's all they want is a paper trail. They want just some reason to say, oh, look at all these problematic MAGA Republicans. They're voting for a felon instead of the establishment with no policies who are just going to beat us over the head with illegal immigration.
The entire thing is outrageous. The entire thing has always been an outrage. Every other case has now fallen completely to pieces. Atomized. Boom, gone. This one remains as like the single zombie case. It's so cringe. It's so tearing at the fabric of the nation. It's wanton destruction.
Hashtag facts, no printer.
You should never, ever forgive them for this. Here's the breaking Fox News segment on it, filling in further details.
All right, breaking right now, the judge rejecting President-elect Trump's bid to throw out his criminal conviction in New York because of his election win and ordering to show up for a sentencing a week from today, either in person or virtually. That's all according to Reuters. Prosecutors had suggested putting the case on hold until Trump leaves office, but now he's facing sentencing before Inauguration Day. Constitutional attorney and Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley is going to be standing by on the phone for us in just a moment, but we have Clay Travis, I believe, with us still here.
As long as I have more money in my pocket and can actually afford a living and I'm happy. Yeah, exactly, dude. As long as my taxes go down, my cost of living goes down, the cost of goods go down, and democracy stays intact, I don't give a fuck. As long as I maintain the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and all of the cost of living and the price of goods and all that shit goes down, I don't give a fuck what this man does. I don't care. I don't care. As long as he fulfills his promises, I don't give a fuck. And he fulfilled his promises the first time. Why wouldn't he do it again? People think he didn't fulfill his promises because the fucking border wall was never finished. But you fucking tried putting a wall on the border. Tell me how long it takes you to do it, you fucking fuck. He still did everything else.
Clay, your reaction, this is just an incredible hour to go from, a win for the president-elect with the speakership and now sentencing before inauguration?
Yeah, this is crazy. I will say the fact that you just hit it, I've got the order in front of me right now, to allow him to appear virtually suggests to me that there is not going to be a substantial punishment coming from Judge Merchan. Now, I could be wrong.
Yeah, because that makes no fucking sense, dude. Why would you appear virtually if you're going to put him in jail? Like, why would that even be an option? It makes no sense. Like, oh yeah, appear virtually, Trump. Are you Skyped in? Your mic is muted. Okay. Yeah, Trump, we're going to sentence you to 4 years in prison. Please drive yourself to the fucking courthouse so we can put you in cuffs. If they were going to sentence him, they would have just made him show up. I don't understand why they gave him the option to do it virtually. It makes no sense to me. The more I hear this, the more it sounds like something from other countries. Yeah, this is like some shit from a collapsing empire. This is like the fall of Rome right now. That's what we're watching. We're watching the fall of Rome.
But if you're virtually sentencing someone, you're not taking them into custody or trying to do something in a significant way there. So that's my biggest takeaway reading the order.
All right, Clay Travis, thank you very much. We want to bring in constitutional attorney and Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley now by phone. Jonathan, break this down for us. What does this mean? What are we likely to see play out?
Well, that's a very good question. This is a judge that has kept people really guessing for a very long time. I described this once as the longest performance of Hamlet in history.
No, that's a good analogy. The longest performance of Hamlet in history.
Really could not figure out what the Merchan was going to do. He's now decided to sentence a president shortly before he is sworn in. Now, one of the things that I've said in the past is that many of the complications that we've been talking about and potential conflicts with the constitutional standards only arise if you impose a sentence that would hold him physically or demand his appearance, things like home confinement or actual sentence to jail. This would be a case where you would not even normally see a sentence for incarceration. So I've always doubted that would be coming out of this case. So the court may be looking at
Watch, they're gonna sentence him to like 4 years of community service. Oh my god, how funny. That would be fucking funny. Trump, we're gonna sentence you to 4 years of community service. Now serve your community and get in that White House. Now, what better way to serve your community than to be president of the United States?
This and saying, I'm not going to trigger any constitutional problems because I'm going to hand down a sentence that's not going to bind him in any way or interfere with his carrying out his duties. The one thing that I have to say, if you put a positive spin on this, is the worst option is the one suggested by Bragg, that you should just suspend the sentence and keep the president as pending sentencing for 4 years. That was a perfectly horrific idea that's being pushed by many. And I think that many people on the
We've got less than 30 seconds left in the show, but I want to ask you, what do you expect the Trump team to do in response to this? Can they appeal it? What happens next?
I don't think they're going to have a lot of luck appealing this. I think the appellate court's going to want to see what he rules. Because if he comes down with a sentence that doesn't bind the president, then a lot of the constitutional problems fade away.
That makes no sense to me, bro.